welcome back to another installment of Dean News Network. My name is DJ Whaley, and thank you for joining us today. Tragedy has struck the world on January 26, 2020. As we know, there was a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. The private helicopter was holding a total of 9 passengers and left no survivors. Among those were basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna Bryant. As we mourn the loss of an icon, we reflect over his life, his career, and his mindset, celebrating the person he was. Now with me is my group of panelists, and I would like to open up to the floor. What is your favorite memory of Kobe?
I have to say my favorite memory is his last game because it's most recent to me. I got to witness it, remember it. Because a lot of his career, I was growing up still young. I don't remember a ton of it, but his last game was so recent. Him dropping 60 points, and that was just the perfect way to go out. And if it's Kobe's gonna go out, that's how he's gonna do it on top.
Exactly. I mean, Kobe's farewell tour overall was just astounding to see. And that last game where he did drop 60 was kind of the way I would expect Kobe to end his career, as you said.
Exactly.
I have so many memories of Kobe. I don't even know where to start. But I'd say also the last game. It was absolutely incredible to watch. I remember he's on like the worst team in the league at that time, and it's me in this game. But like he always did every single game. Once it was game time, Kobe Bryant, he was locked in. He was in playing mode. He was no smiles, no laughs. For the next 2.5 hours, it was all business.
Exactly.
And it was just incredible to watch. I'll never forget that 60-point game and bring his team back single-handedly. Like he did so many times in his career.
Exactly. In that game, they were down. And even I remember watching this YouTube video. It said that the respect that the league has among its own, Gordon Hayward on his final free throw, Kobe's final free throw that is, stepped on the line just to make sure that if Kobe did miss that free throw, he got another chance at it. I don't think you'll see any of that kind of respect anywhere else in any other type of league.
Right.
That's just the amount of impact that Kobe held.
I'd say it was a Knicks game, a really random Knicks game in like 2009, I think. And I just remember watching it on TV, and like this is around the time where like you just loved to hate Kobe because he was so good, and no matter who he played, it was going to be a blowout win or he was going to do something unbelievable. But in this particular game, I just remember him dropping 61 points and just me watching my Knicks lose in another like just terrible fashion. But even then, as a child, like growing up, I just see nothing but perfection from that man. And just like the league really lost a legend, and a lot of kids definitely lost like their Superman.
And I really get what you're saying when you say they're Superman. Kobe came into this league 18 years old. Not much not much younger than any of us. He was a kid. He came into this league and he shaped it and made it his own because of his mindset. I think that what really separates Kobe is that he knew that I have to be different. I have to be more. And I think that the mindset I try to embody myself, as well as many other basketball fans that watch basketball, try to embody when they watch Kobe. Be more. Mindset. Which actually switches us over to our next question. How do you feel Kobe impacted not only yourself, but the game of basketball?
That I feel like Kobe respected the game, and he brought the game to another level. Like we never seen a player like him since MJ, and he changed the game, and he basically cared for his teammates and the people around him, and that every teammate said that he was one of the best, and like his 60-point game, his family was in the crowd and stuff, and now that he his family was there and stuff, but he was also part of a huge basketball family, and I think they should change the logo just for him, like by the end of the season, because for this significance that he made for this league.
Exactly. I mean, the impact that he held, everyone knew the name Kobe Bryant. You didn't even have to be a basketball fan to know who Kobe Bryant was.
Yeah.
That's just how impactful a person can be, that they don't even have to watch what you do They don't even have to really know what your face looks like, but because of what you did on the court as well as off the court, they knew who Kobe Bryant was.
For me, Kobe Bryant was like a really big impact, and I feel like that has to go with his, his mentality that he had. For me, like when he tore his Achilles and he still shot the free throw, that perseverance that he had. No, I don't think any other player could do that. Go out there and shoot a free throw on a torn Achilles. Most people would just go down and just go to the locker room, but Kobe didn't, and that's how like an impact he kind of left. And going back what Toby said, like how he's like Michael Jordan. To us, he was a Michael Jordan of our generation. We will never see a player as great as Kobe Bryant and the imprint that he left on the league to where he would just each and every day go out with 110% no matter what the circumstance was.
Just like you said, like having that 110% mentality, that Mamba mentality that he embodied so well, just gave him another level of competition, competitiveness to his game. I mean, no one competed, no one delivered to the game as much as Kobe did.
Well, also he's probably one of the last actual tough players in the league that was ever in the league. Like I remember he popped his finger and dislocated it and just walked off to the side, popped it right back in, no deal. Most players nowadays are on the ground crying and screaming and kicking about it. He got up and just got it in. That just shows how much he was drived into the game and how hard he took himself to get better and get back on the court just to make sure his team was in the best spot possible.
Exactly, and I think that's attributed to Kobe's loyalty. He not only would play through pain, play through injury. He was the type of guy that unless I am not physically able to play, I'm gonna be on that court. I'm gonna do what I can for my team because that's just the kind of guy he was. He was that type of loyal to his team, to his players, to his association, to his family.
Yeah, and like you were just saying about his loyalty, he was so fiercely loyal to the Los Angeles Lakers in the city of Los Angeles. And after Shaq left and the Lakers rebuilding process after that, he could have left. A lot of people pressured him. There was a lot of media coverage around speculating that he would leave, but he never left the Lakers. And the last 3 years after he popped his Achilles, he could have left the Lakers. He's gone to the Cleveland Cavaliers or any other, because he was on one of the worst teams in the league for the last 3 seasons. But he was so fiercely loyal to the Los Angeles Lakers, and he stuck with them every second. He never left them, even when the pressure was great. Really just shows how much respect he had for himself, his team, and his teammates too. And it was so it's incredible.
Exactly. Kobe not only held that respect for himself, but as well as his teammates, and that kind of moves me into my next question. How do you feel Kobe should be remembered?
I feel as if he should just be remembered as an icon. Going back to like something you asked earlier, his impact goes beyond the court. Even like with his sneakers, Kobe Bryant went from just a rookie player signed to Adidas to being signed to Nike in the mid 2000s, and it became something global to the point where there's places in like Spain or Italy with his Nike like snake logo on basketball courts. I think that even his philanthropy with him, even going to go visit sick people, and not even having PR around like any photos, so those kids can spend time with somebody who they considered probably one of the best in the league. And even besides basketball, he's just to be really just known as an icon and like somebody great.
I think another thing that we should remember Kobe for is his role as a father. I recently looked up into just the way that he would interact with his daughters, the way that he would interact with his wife. He showed nothing but respect and loyalty to them, just as he was loyal to the game. Kobe took that into his own household. He applied that into his own life. Kobe was at each and every one of his daughter's basketball practices, whether they were playing basketball, whether they were in a classroom. He did as much as he can for the people around him.
Yeah, it's so hard as an NBA player with your schedule to, make everything work and try and be with your family. But Kobe was a guy who, no matter how far he had to travel, he went to be with his family, his daughters, and just spend as much time he could with them. And that's how Kobe should remember, a hard worker on the court, off the court, whatever he had to do, he was going to make it happen, to make everyone.
Of course. And before we close out, I would like to open up the floor to anyone that would like to speak any more on Kobe, his embodiment, and who he was.
Honestly, I think one thing that should be remembered from Kobe Bryant was, his mentality. because it goes definitely beyond the basketball court. It goes into our everyday lives. And even after he retired, he wrote children's books to kind of give back to the community and to give back to those who sacrificed so much for his playing career. And then he won an Oscar for Dear Basketball, which you don't see many players with that many talent to go out there and direct a really great film and to produce it and to write books. He was a man of many talents just besides basketball, and that should go into everybody's everyday lives, just to go out there and put in 110% for whatever they do and know that the sky's the limit.
Like what George said, there was a point in time where I think every kid growing up around the early 2000s tried to be in a basketball court and stand on the baseline and try to do Kobe's shimmy to the fade. I feel like there was a time where anytime it was Christmas time, they'd ask their kid, like a kid would ask their mom for a pair of like Kobe sneakers. And then slowly but surely, like when he got older, you grow older too. And I feel like if you can really remember him from your childhood when he had the afro to like when he was older with his children retired and trying his best to give back, it's something you can really shape into your like everyday life. Especially like if you look back on older commercials when he did his mama mentality, even though it was like considered jokes, a lot of the things that he was saying was very beneficial. And I really hope that besides basketball or like besides the philanthropy, like people really pay attention to the mindset he had. The fact that even during the toughest times, he would always try his best to persevere. And I feel like everybody can attribute that to their everyday life and become the best person that they can be, because that's what he tried to do every single day, inside the NBA or outside.
His impact, he's so much bigger than basketball. He was a basketball god, he was a basketball great, but his influence was just on other sports, on the city of Los Angeles, even his hometown city of Philadelphia. His impact was so huge in so many different complex ways, and it's like his influence. Everyone in some way is affected by it today in this country and throughout the world, really.
Exactly. I think that was best said to close this out. Kobe's impact affected everybody, whether you watched basketball, whether you played basketball, whether you just knew who he was and knew the name. He had impact. And lastly, I would like to say thank you all for joining us with another installment of Dean News Network. As we honor Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, I encourage all of those watching, call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Hold your family close, as life can be so unexpected. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we're out.
No words can describe how I feel about you guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. And I love you guys. And to my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. For all the hours I spent in the gym working and training. And Vanessa, you holding down the family the way that you have. I can't, there's no way that I can thank you enough for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what can I say? Mamba out.